Okay, good morning guys and welcome to another episode of Monthly Technicals. It's basically our market analysis session. We get to see what opportunities we can grab in the market for today. Yeah, and you guys get to see my strategy, how I get my entries and exits. Anyways, before we get started, for those that are watching this video on YouTube, please like and subscribe to the page. So let's get started. Now, fundamental wise, we have NFP today, which clearly we know. Yeah, so normal self, I would say I will not actually, in short, I'm not actually going to trade today, but then let's just look at the market. So now we actually have some sort of opportunity here right now on AUD USD. So now if we look at this, yeah, AUD USD created this low yesterday, yeah, and then we pushed up as if we wanted to react here yesterday in the evening. This was at night. I knew it was just going to be small fake. We pushed down small, and then now we've tapped into that 0.618 area of the feed. Now, if you go to the lower time frame, yeah, so we have our area here. That's our zone there. Let me draw flip so that we can know exactly where it is also. So now we have our flip here. So now, if we drop to the lower time frame, let's drop to 15 minutes. Now, if you look at this critically, yeah, we actually had a candlestick confirmation. See this candlestick here that looks as if it's an engulfing, and then it's more or less like a bearish reversal candlestick. At the same time, we actually have some sort of market structure. So we had this whole high here, price consolidated for a while before we had this one here. Now, price came and broke that low, that higher low to the downside. So it's more or less like that's a market structure confirmation. So what can we look out for? We have this low here. So let me highlight that. What we can do right now, yeah, is wait back and it's basically wait and let price or tap inside and then what? We ride it to the downside. So my entry right now on this stuff is going to be like this entry here, and then my stop loss just a few pips above there. Yes, my stop loss is going to be 10 pips. Yeah, just a few pips above there. 10 pips is good. Then I'll be targeting down here. So that's what I'll be doing on this currency pair. Yeah. So that's what I'll be waiting for price now to go back to this here. Once price gets there, let me set an alert. Once price gets there, I'll be entering the trade. So that's what I'm looking out for on AUD USD. Price has actually tapped into that 0.618 area, and then right now it's rejected. Let's see, let's wait and see price to what tap inside, and then let's take the sell from there. So that's what I'm looking out for on AUD USD. Then we have NZD USD has been NZD USD has been a pitch for a while, right? So let's look at this from. I don't want to even look at it from the higher time frame. So now the higher time frame is actually it's more or less bearish because we actually created this high here. We pulled back, we created another high, and then now we came down and what broke it to the downside. So broke that high to the downside. So it's more or less like price what created a higher high, came back and what shifted structure. So now it's more or less looking like a trend change. Now let's drop to the lower time frame and see if there are any what selling opportunities. No. And currently, price just created this low here. That was yesterday. We pulled back. Yeah. We failed to create another low. It's more or less looking like a double bottom. But then price has not broken that high yet. So the double bottom has not been confirmed. We haven't had that whole shift in the market structure yet. But at the same time, if I actually have that double bottom, then it's going against what the 4H is saying entirely. So this one now, I'm just going to let it be. Probably when NFP come out, is going to do a clear direction. But for now, I'm just going to allow it. Let it sit. Let it rest. For now, I'm going to allow it. So guys, is there any other pair you guys want us to take a look at before we go? I've looked at all my pairs. Okay, GBP, JPY. Wahala. Wow. So now look at how GBP, JPY is doing. Yeah? So let's go to the 4H. What's the 4H like? The 4H is actually bearish. So now let's go back to the 1H. So price broke to the downside. We created this low, we pushed up, we created a lower high, we failed to create another low, and then we just broke above it. Yeah, that was more or less like a shift. We created a low, that's we came back, we tested, we created a high, we tested again, and then we pushed up. But then after price consolidating here, yeah, we tapped into these areas here, and then we started rejecting to the downside. So what can we watch out for before we start jumping on that sell? That our price is looking like it wants to sell. See this low down here. Let's just pay attention to it. So now, once price breaks this low to the downside, what we're going to do next, we'll wait for a retest, and then we'll look to ride it to the downside. So let's just be patient for now. There are no entries. For now, we're not entering anything. We're just waiting to see price or to break this low here, this 1 hour low. And then once it tests this, that's when we're going to jump on the sell. So someone said ADSD. Well, I've looked at ADSD, but then let's go back. Let's take a look at it. So this is what we have on ADSD. Price is going back to that entry point right now. So ADSD created this lower low yesterday. We pushed up more or less like a fake, and then we came back down. Yeah, and then price tapped into the 0.618 areas, and then this whole zone here. So now what we're looking for now is if we go to the 15 minutes, you can see that price actually made this whole nice movement here that we're using as our entry criteria. So we actually pushed up here, we formed this high, we sort of consolidated for a while, then we formed this low, and then we created this high. Price came and then what broke it to the downside. So it was more or less like we've already started shifting on that lower time frame. So what we're looking for now on ADUSD is for price to what retest, which is actually trying to do right now. Yeah, my entry point, let me move it around there. So now, once price retest that level, I already set this. Once price gets to that level, we'll be looking to enter and then what ride it to the downside. So that's what I'll be looking out for on ADUSD. Any other pair you guys want us to take a look at? Is there any other pair you guys want us to take a look at before we go? Okay, GBP USD. Wow, what is happening? Okay, this is 15 minutes. Let's go back to the 1H. Wahala. What's the 4H looking? Oh, oh. ADSD has reached our entry. Wait one sec, let's address ADSD. So ADSD has tapped into that point that I want to enter. So let me enter my position. Actually rejecting to the downside. It has already started rejecting. I'll wait for it to get back inside there again. I think the thing I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to set my pending order. I'm not going to wait for this thing again. Okay. Are you already on the sell on AEDUSD or on this thing on GBP and USD? Which one is yes, GBP USD or AEDUSD? Okay, AEDUSD. Why is my chart looking weird like this? Let me set a pending order. Okay, I'll just use market execution. So, stop loss 0.66. So let's sit back and see how it plays out, yeah? Let's sit back and see how it plays out. Someone was talking about GBP USD. So now this is GBP USD on the 1 inch. So clearly on the 1 inch we're bearish. We created this low yesterday. We formed that lower high. Price tapped down here. We failed to create another low. We went up. We did not break above also. So now we're pushing down. What we can watch out for now is we actually have this low here. Yeah. And then we have this high here. Any place that price breaks above to, we'll be looking to do this thing. But right now, price is just in between that range. And I don't want to say anything on this right now. Any other pair you guys want us to take a look at before we go? Gold. Wahala. Wahala. So I think if you look at gold, yeah, see what gold did. So we basically created this high, we created this low, price failed to create another high, and then we tapped the equal lows. We failed to create another high, and then we broke below it. And if you look, I think if you actually plot Fibonacci on this range here, you will see that price tapped into the 0.618 and it's actually pushing down right now. So let's just see. Let's just wait and see how to play out. This is what I'll be looking for. Let price come out actually what break this low to the downside, break it to the downside there and look for a reversal. Okay, any other pair you guys want us to take a look at before we go? So the setup we have already right now is AEDS. So let's sit back and see how it plays out. Yeah, let's sit back and see how it plays out. Anyways, I'll catch you guys on Tuesday same time. Bye, guys. Take care of yourselves.